ChatGPT is going to be making over my living room. If you don't know what ChatGPT is, it's basically an incredibly smart AI chatbot that's written all kinds of things like a children's book, code, and even legal contracts. Okay, so ChatGPT can write stuff, but it can't draw, see, or even send and receive messages. So how is it supposed to make over anything? I recently made over my living room and it honestly took me quite a while, but what if I could have just asked ChatGPT to spit out a design on the spot? And what if it can do a better job than I did? Well, I decided to put all these questions to the test. To keep things short, let's just call ChatGPT Chad. So I started off by giving Chad a detailed rundown of what my place looks like, including dimensions, where each wall, door, and window is. I also told Chad about my needs and concerns for the space, including being able to accommodate 6 to 7 people for entertaining because this is the only space where I'm able to do so, needing space for my plants, privacy concerns with my huge sliding door, and of course the fact that this is a tiny rental, so everything needs to be rental friendly. Now let's see what Chad has to say. Of course, Chad is recommending me a Scandinavian-inspired style. Oh my goodness. You can place a compact sofa that can seat 6 to 7 guests, such as a sectional. What? First of all, I don't know any sectionals that are compact, and secondly, how can it possibly fit 6 to 7 people? I said that I want to be able to fit at least 6 to 7 people, but I never said that they should all fit on the sofa. Let's look at Chad's other recommendations. So consider adding a low-profile coffee table that can double as extra seating. Low-profile coffee table that can double as extra seating. Is this a thing? Okay, so not all of Chad's recommendations were as weird as those two. He also had a few decent ones, like going for the Scandi style, and a few couple others that we'll see in a second. But a lot of his answers were super broad, which are helpful, but we're not just looking for helpful here. In order to say that Chad designed this space, we need specifics like the type of furniture, color, style, where they should go. So let's start with the color palette. I'm gonna ask him for like, what does he mean by neutral colors? Like, could he give me like specific shades? He recommends 1, white, 2, a light wood tone, and 3, he recommends I use a soft gray or beige for the sofa and accent pillows. Interesting, because my couch is already a soft gray. Okay, anyway, it's recommended to stick with a neutral color palette as it helps create a calming and cohesive look, blah blah blah. Now that I have the specific color palette, I want to know what pieces exactly of finisher I should include as well as where I should put them. Place the sectional sofa against the long wall. This will allow the sofa to face a slight... What? So it turns out Chad isn't all that smart, at least when it comes to imagining spaces. First, he called this short wall the long wall and thought that somehow placing the sectional here would be facing the sliding door and kitchen. I tried explaining the floor plan again, but this led Chad to think that putting the sofa here facing outside would somehow create an inviting space. He must have been so sure because he suggested it again. I'm so confused. And again, and again. It's gonna be a long day. So much so that I began to question everything. Place the sectional along the long wall. Along the wall opposite the kitchen. But that didn't stop me from getting my hopes up each time. Okay. He says, my apologies, I understand now. Let's see if he truly understands now. Yeah, no, he didn't. After explaining what feels like over 100 times, I didn't think that Chad was ever going to get it. So I made things super straightforward by giving him only 4 options of where the sectional could possibly go. And finally, a simple answer. Now, it's time to repeat it with every single piece of furniture. After hours of badgering Chad, I finally have his final design. To start off, he recommended sheer curtains for some privacy from the neighbors and white walls to create a sense of spaciousness and to reflect light. Luckily, my walls were already white. Next, he recommends placing a velvet mid-century modern sectional in gray along the boundary of the kitchen and living room facing the sliding doors. Next, we have a minimalist rectangular coffee table that has a mid-tone finish and low profile. Because of course, we can't forget that this is supposed to double up as extra seating. This table is just gonna go in the center right in front of the sectional. He also recommended a side table in the same style, made of glass and metal with a black or dark brown finish next to the sectional for holding drinks and other essentials. On the left of the seating area, Chad suggested placing a combination storage unit in a contemporary style that has a warm oak or light walnut finish. This unit can be used to both store unsightly belongings behind closed cabinet doors and also to display decor items on open shelves. To house my plants, he recommended placing them on minimal white floating shelves as well as plant stands. And to define the living room space, Chad suggested adding a rug that goes right under the coffee table. And with the addition of some decor items, the room is complete. Overall, I'm quite surprised by how Chad did, although it definitely took more than just a couple of minutes to get him to spit out the design. In fact, I basically had to force it out of him. One clear thing that Chad clearly lacks is spatial understanding, like when he recommended the sectional that supposedly could fit 6 to 7 people. As far as Chad was concerned, adding the word compact is supposed to solve everything, but in reality, a compact sectional would probably fit closer to 4 to 5 people. Aside from that, I actually found Chad's suggestion for the furniture layout to be quite refreshing because it's quite different from the layout that I actually chose in my living room makeover, and I don't think Chad's idea would have ever crossed my mind. Well, that's what I think. But let me know down in the comments how you think Chad did. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see my next video where I transform my kitchen. Also, big shout out to my rendering artist Dylan, who did such an amazing job. Make sure to check her out if you need realistic renders or help with designing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.